I would do this video just kind of talking about my thoughts on the Wolverine MTW and my personal opinions on it, and whether or not I think it's the best replica or just a decent replica, and if you should buy it. So I will get right into that here in just a second. Before I do that, I have a couple just quick things. Number one, the Syndicate 2 game is coming up here in not this weekend, the weekend after. That's coming up really, really soon. I'll be there on Friday. I'll be playing Saturday night, or yeah, Saturday for the game. I will be doing a giveaway. I have this Action Army AAP-01, super popular pistol. I'll show it to you guys. I will be giving this away at the end of the game. So if you guys are there at the end of the game at Index, there'll be other giveaways, I'm sure, but this one will be a part of that. So stick around to the end. I'll be handing this away to somebody. And other than that, I will see you guys on the field there for Syndicate 2. I, of course, will be filming. And then on top of filming, I also have Prestige BBs, which is my new sponsor. I've got a couple cases of Prestige BBs. Some of them I'll be just kind of handing out for free, not like a lot, but a couple bottles. And then also I'll have them for sale there for cash if you guys want to buy the BBs. So those will be there. Just come find me. I'll try to figure something out with making sure everyone can find me on the field. But you should be able to figure me out. I've got patches all over. See what I look like. So find me on the field. The second thing I was going to bring up really quick, as you guys know, I run the EPM magazines, not the EPM ones, the 250 rounders, the original EPMs, the 150 round mid caps. I am trying out some new mags. These are the EMG Hex Mags 230 round mid caps. One of my buddies recommended these to me, so I picked up a case of 5. I'm going to be trying these things out. Just got them from Evite. So just look forward to a review later on of this. So let's talk about what the title of this video is, and that is my thoughts on the Wolverine MTW. I have 2 of them. I've got several gameplays up. I have the SBR. I've left this thing, actually this one is upgraded. So I did put the Silent Arms hop-up arm in here. I did change it to a maple leaf bucking. I've got a 285 millimeter Prometheus 6.03 barrel in this. And I do have the Ace Tech tracer on here. I'll be running this at the prison game. Again, this is the SBR, or the middle one. It's a 10-inch or 10.5-inch replica. And then I also recently acquired the full-length MTW. Now this one is completely stock, and I will get into that with just a second between stock and upgraded. This one is completely stock. This is the carbine or 14.5-inch version. Nothing is on this other than just that Ace Tech tracer, the same one, and of course some stuff I added to run my cameras and my scope cam. But other than that, completely stock replica. 10 inches, good barrel length. Yeah, 285 millimeter, and this one is a 363 millimeter inner barrel. So pretty standard SBR and honestly carbine size barrels. So let's get into this. So first of all, guys, this isn't going to just be all hype being like buy MTW. I'm not sponsored by MTW. So I am going to say some negative things towards MTW within this sort of review and my thoughts, but of course positives. And then I'll give you my final verdict at the end of the video. So pretty much I'll hit on a couple positive things here. So for me, these things are extremely lightweight. They have really good construction to them, but they're not heavy at all. You know, if you play with Crytek or like an Avalon, they're a little bit heavier, especially when they're in their AEG with that heavier gearbox in there. These are extremely lightweight, very maneuverable. The build construction on them is awesome. The M-Lock rails on them are great. The Picatinny on the top there to add attachments. Of course, you can add your own little Picatinny rails to these. It's just a really simple thing to do. Another positive that I really liked about these is this orange tip that comes on here. Most replicas have like a little screw or it's glued. Mine just came right off by hand. I thought that was super cool. Depending on where you live, it's not cool to take your that orange tip off. But where I live in Pennsylvania, you can take them off as long as you're not selling it. But if you're playing, you can have a black or whatever color tip you want on there. So I thought that was really interesting. Something cool just for the player aspect of it, that you can take that off without having to like heat it up. I thought that was dope. I'll get into a negative on the body. This stock. It sucks. It doesn't stay in place. This screw right here kind of backs off a lot, and then this thing just gets all wonky. I don't care for this stock at all. I did get the Magpul stocks for these. I've just been really lazy and I haven't swapped them, even though I know it takes like 5 seconds. But I haven't swapped them out yet. And I don't care for this stock at all. I'll just be honest with you guys. Again, I'm not talking crap about MTW. I'm just saying stocks, just yeah. Um, the internal construction of this thing is where, to me, it shines the most. I'll talk about upgrading and stuff here in a second. To me, it shines the most because of its simplicity. So once you take this lower apart, and it does, if you are familiar with firearms or been in the military or law enforcement, it's very similar. It'll come apart. You can just lift this whole thing up. There's no gearbox in here to mess around with at all, which is dope. It makes it super simple. And then there's just like there's the yoke back here in the back, which would be on this farther part. It literally just pops out. There's no screws. There's no bull crap. The only thing you got to take is a little plug out, and there's not even like one of those little things you got to pinch. I mean, literally, you just pull it right out and plug it right back in. It is so easy and so simple. And then you have a retention clip, which is like right in this area. And they're super easy to just pop out. Just you can literally just take a little screwdriver and it just pops right out. There's no screws again. And then once you do that, you can pull this whole engine out, and that's all there is. There's no gearbox. It's just the engine sitting in there. So it makes it really easy. And then your barrel and hop up stuff is right here. That whole group is right here. There is a feed tube there, so don't get confused and think you got to pull the feed tube. It's not. You just push on the back on the rotary dial, and the whole tube or the whole barrel and hop up assembly comes out. So just super simple design. Like you can easily take this thing apart, clean your barrel out, do whatever, put it back together. And you don't have to worry about alignment. You don't have to worry about a gearbox. You don't have to worry about little tiny screws everywhere. I mean, it's super simple. Yeah, can't say enough about that, but I won't go on forever. But it is a really cool design. Having said that, though, having one MTW that's upgraded and one MTW that's stock, I'll be honest with you guys, don't even upgrade it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You're really not gaining much out of doing an upgrade to it, even if it's just the barrel. And I'll tell you why. And that's because this already comes with a 6.03 type bore barrel. The hop up on these is pretty good. There's not a lot of replacement hop ups out there. I know you can cut down like a max hop and make it work and do some other crap. And I know Max is coming out with a hop up, but I don't think I'm going to buy it because this hop up works just fine. And the way they designed this whole thing is designed to just run how it is. And then on top of that, you've got a good bucking in here. And I think it's actually that Matazu flat hop bucking because it's actually already flat hopped. So if you take your hop up apart where the arm's at, there's already a flat hop nub in there. And you don't need to do anything. I didn't notice much of an increase at all switching to the maple leaf bucking and the other arm because all the other arm is just has a nub attached to the arm, but you already have that because you already have a nub in there. So there's no reason to really upgrade it. And I didn't really feel there was a huge performance increase between the stock and what I did when I put a barrel and a bucking and a new the arm in there. So just leave it stock. That's not necessarily negative or positive. To me, it's kind of a positive because you're not spending any additional funds to make this gun shoot better. It already shoots great. It can be a negative if you are somebody who likes to upgrade everything and swap barrels out and just mess with your gun. This probably isn't the one for you. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So far, I found that mags work. All mags have worked really well with this thing. I've tried Crytek mags in it. I've tried the PTS EPM original mags in it. I've tried the PTS EPM ones in it. Everything has fed in this thing great. I haven't obviously tried this one yet, the one I just got. It's pretty tight, no wobble in there. I'll have to test it out to see how it actually shoots. But so far, it looks like it's going to fit pretty good. So, there's just no issues there to talk about other than so far the stock. But other than that, the only thing I did notice too, which I'll bring up, which is just a slight caveat, if you get the that other, why can't I ever think of what these things are called? This tube. whatever it's called. I can't think of it right now. But if you get the like upgraded one when you order it or buy it, it has a you're gonna struggle feeding it down through here. It's kind of a bitch. And to be honest with you, I've had no issues with the stock one. Again, don't waste your money. It's like $30 you don't have to spend. This one works just fine. What's on here stock. Um, yeah, I mean it's just really nice. So in my personal opinion, and I've owned several replicas, Crytek's, Avalon's. I've shot a lot of different replicas for reviews, as far as like G&G and SEMA and just several other brands. If you're looking to go HPA, this is probably the ticket. Especially if you don't want to upgrade and you just want the simplicity of this thing. It's I would say it's the ticket. There's nothing really else out there within this range, being that this is $700 that you're going to spend once you buy a replica like this one, and you're going to spend two, three, four, $500 for the body. You're just going to strip it. And you're going to spend $400 for a Polar Star or whatever these run, $300 for the Inferno, and now you're already at $700. And then you got to count the better barrel, the better hop up, the better bucking, and then tech it and align everything. By the time you do all that, guys, you're like $1,000 into it, and you could have just spent 700 and already had everything here that you needed and be good to go. So for me personally, even though I kind of talked shit on these previously, like a year ago, when everyone was buying them, I really think this is the best way to go if you're going HPA. If you don't want to HPA and you want to go AEG, if HPA is just not your thing at all, I still do highly recommend Crytek and Avalon's. They're, in my opinion, hands down AEGs, Crytek, Avalon, the MK2 series or the Avalon series, just blow everything else out of the water for a stock AEG. If you don't have the funds to spend $400 or $500 on an AEG, the G&G comment machines are just fine to get started. But yeah, more gameplay to come on this. I will say really quick too, I don't have a gameplay footage coming out this week on Sunday. Unfortunately, I didn't play the last 2 weekends. Life just got busy. I didn't have any stored footage to like put out. So there's no gameplay this weekend. There's just this video here and just kind of giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on it. So thank you very much. Have a good one. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Those are good things. I hit 400. So keep up with that, guys. And thank you very much for watching.